Welcome to Layer the Alchemist, where we discuss all things heavy metal and hard rock. For this episode, let's rank the songs on AC/DC's Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. I'm a huge AC/DC fan. They are the band that got me into hard rock and heavy metal. I always tell the story. I was seeing them on TV doing You Shook Me All Night Long and the Back of Black album. But if I were to rate the Bon Scott era albums, which I believe I did in a video, if I did, I'll leave the video in the description down below. Doing the North American versions of the albums, in other words, not the Australian High Voltage or the Australian TNT, this would probably be my least favorite of the Bon era albums, although it's an album that has a certain charm to it, a sort of laid back nature to it. It's just kind of the band in the studio, having fun. Sounds like they're having some beers, having some laughs, and playing some tunes at a party or something. That's kind of what a lot of this record feels like to me. And it feels like the most personal Bon album. A lot of the lyrics are some of Bon's best lyrics in my opinion. All right, we got 9 songs on here. We got Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, Love at First Feel, Big Balls, Rocker and Problem Child. Side 2, we've got Ain't No Fun Waiting Around to Be a Millionaire. There's gonna be some rockin' at the show tonight. Ain't No Fun Waiting Around to Be a Millionaire, Ride On, and Squealer. Okay, from my least favorite to my favorite out of the 9 songs here. Number 9 for me would be There's going to Be Some Rockin' at the Show Tonight. It just kind of feels like a stock kind of blues number. It's fun. It's got a nice feel to it. I mean, AC/DC's songs always have a good feel to it. But it just seems kind of like maybe they didn't know what to put on the record, so it's just a straight up sort of blues feel thing. I do like sort of the party feel to it, like the background vocals, like it sounds like you can hear glasses clinking and stuff in the background. But for me, it's a little bit unspectacular, with some of the other stuff that's on the record and in the AC/DC catalog and canon. All right, number 8. I feel kind of bad for putting this kind of low, but Big Balls. It's funny. It's all about Bon. I mentioned earlier that this album, Bon carries a lot of this album for me, and this song especially is all Bon. It's his classic sort of tongue-in-cheek innuendo. It's his not so subtle hidden meaning, to the thing, but he just absolutely sells this. It's funny. It is a fun song, but it's sort of a short thing. It is what it is. So it lands at number 8 on my list. Number 7 is Ain't No Fun Waiting Around to Be a Millionaire. Now, this is another one where sort of from the chords and everything, the music behind it is a little bit boring, like on its own. If it wasn't for Bon's lyrics and Bon's delivery, Bon sells this song for me. He's the one that makes this song work. His lyrics are clever. They're funny. Get your jumbo jet out of my airport. This whole sentiment, it ain't no fun waiting to be a millionaire. I got holes in my shoes. The whole thing. He just absolutely sells his song. He carries his song. It's sort of repetitive, the riffing and the music underneath him. But he does enough here to keep you interested. You're listening to his lyrics, his delivery, the way the song sort of builds at the end. Ain't no fun, the background vocals, and he's sort of riffing over the top of it is just great. So it's all about Bon there. If his melody and his lyrics, it would have been like there's gonna be some rockin', which for me the lyrics are just not that special in that one. They're just sort of let's have a party type of lyrics. But here, Ain't No Fun is clever and it's funny and it keeps you engaged and listening along. It's all about Bon in that one for me. All right, number 6, Love at First Feel. This is a cool one. The feel of the song is pretty cool. I like the groove of it and everything. Bon's lyrics, of course he's singing about what Bon sang about most of the time, and maybe at times it's slightly creepy. As a kid, these lyrics, the lyrics sort of meant one thing to me now as an adult with kids and a daughter. Maybe I listen to these lyrics and it makes me cringe a little bit and think about it a little bit differently. But hey, this is, this is all about Bond. It always feels like, I always said this, that when Bond's lyrics, you believe when he sings these things, it sounds like they're coming from personal experience. They're like real life stories with him. It doesn't sound like he's trying to play a character. Everything is just, sounds like you're just listening to him tell a story, at a bar to a bunch of friends or something like that. But it lands at number 6 for me. All right, number 5, Squealer. Love the guitar solo in this one. This is an interesting sort of arrangement. It's like after the first chorus, it goes right into like this extended guitar solo, and it's one of Angus's coolest solos. He just builds it really well and sort of goes off, going crazy in it in certain spots. He just keeps building and getting more frantic. I love the ominous sort of bass line to it and Bond's delivery, the way he's sort of speaking in the beginning of the song. It almost has like a eerie, scary, creepy vibe to it. So comes in at number 5 for me. Number 4, Rocker. Now this one is another straight up kind of blues progression type thing, but man, it's the energy of this one that just carries it through, man. It's some great guitar playing from Angus. Angus, in my opinion, one of my favorite guitar players. He's an underrated blues player. His soloing in this is fantastic. I love it. I love the energy of the song, Bond's lyrics and everything, those sort of stops where he's just Bond there singing, I think is great. So love it for the energy and for the guitar solos in this one. Number 3, Problem Child. Classic AC/DC number from this era. Another one that's great soloing here. The outro solo on this song is fantastic. Angus just going off, great, love it. Love the lyrics of the song too, just the whole sentiment of the whole thing, by street light, getting in trouble, problem child and everything. It's a song Bond used to introduce this, a song about Angus. Love sort of the groove to it too and the feel. The awesome guitar sounds on this, the classic AC/DC, those open chords and everything, just so big and full, really comes through on that one. All right, number 2 for me is Ride On. This one, it's all about Bond on this one, and it's one of those moments where you feel like you're getting a little glimpse into Bond's soul, behind the character. Here you get the funny guy Bond and big balls. You get the vulgar Bond and Love at First Feel. You get the creepy Bond in Squealer. But here you're sort of getting this little glimpse into, sort of the softer side. The more it's like he exposes himself for a moment on here, that maybe the drinking and the partying, is, one of these days he's going to change, he's going to change his evil ways. Unfortunately, Bond didn't get that chance, it all caught up with him. And there's a great documentary on YouTube right now. If I remember, I'll try to link it below. It's a fantastic Australian documentary about Bond, and there's a bunch of footage and stuff in there that I'd never seen before. And there's an interview with his brother, who's never done an interview before and said he'll never do another one again, and personal friends of Bond, and they talked about how, a lot of people told him, you got to slow down and everything, and with the drinking and all that stuff, but obviously he wasn't able to, and that's also sad because they talk about how he was sort of starting to think about how he did sort of want to settle down and maybe get married and stuff like that and lead a little bit more of a quieter, more normal life, but unfortunately he never got that chance. And here for me in Ride On, it's just it's almost emotional, hearing Bond's delivery in this and his lyrics, and it's very reserved. It's one of the more reserved Bond vocal deliveries here, as far as he's not high up in his range, he's not shouting or everything, but it's one of his most emotional. All right, and number 1, the one we got left here is Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. Maybe I've heard it too many times, but it's still a fantastic song. The chorus of it is just awesome. Love the lyrics, love the part at the end of the song when Bond is doing that concrete shoes, cyanide. That's just great. background vocals are fantastic in a classic early AC/DC background vocals. That guitar riff, I love it. It's kind of minor key and scary and ominous sounding. The whole lyrics and the whole thing, Bond's lyrics are just great. The guitar solo is fantastic. Angus doing that thing where he's just sort of building up and up and up and, until he hits that high note again and it goes into the last verse. So just great song. Love when they play this. Haven't seen them live in a long time. Hope to get to see them live again. This is a song that always goes over well live. A classic hard rock song, one of AC/DC's best songs. So it comes in at number 1 for me, the title track. All right, there you go. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. The song's, for me, ranked from least favorite to favorite. Let me know what you guys think of my picks. Let me know how you would rank them. Put it down below in the description. And until we see you again, make sure you rock hard, ride free.